Let us continue with a quick revision of the last class. First, we have basically focused on in detail about the collection. And when you talk about collection, we have already seen in the first lecture something called as array list. Now we have in the last class, we have seen the concept of linked list. So if you can remember, we have seen a concept of linked list in case of yesterday's scenario. We have also seen stack where you can use push, pop and peek methods. In case of linked list, you can use add first, add last and remove first, remove last methods. We have also talked about something called as a vector. Vector is a legacy class, and in case of vector, we have a growable or shrinkable array at runtime. Whenever you are talking about array always takes a fixed size, and vector can grow at a runtime. I have given you practical application of vector also. This covered our list hierarchy in the collection, and later on we have started with a queue hierarchy. When you talk about queue, we have different types of queue, something called as double-ended queue, priority queue, array DQ, and so on. Yesterday, I have explained in case of priority queue, it does the sorting, but the sorting is based on the heap. So whenever you insert the data in the priority queue, it first background maintains the heap architecture. And when I say heap, it means heap is basically one, you can say data structure, which is basically used for maintaining the data in proper format. But when I'm saying priority, every element that you're inserting maintains some priority. According to the priority, it will be inserted into the heap. And that's why you will get the output according to the priority. So queue is an interface that we have seen. Its implemented classes were array DQ and the priority queue. Later on, we have also started with the concept of iterator, list iterator, and enumeration. These three things I have explained into the last class. If you normally want to traverse within any collection, you can go for in one direction, maybe that's a forward direction, then we can use iterator or enumeration. But if you want going through in both the directions, maybe previous and the next location, then we can go for list iterator. I have also explained the most important question which is asked in your interviews. What do you mean by fail fast and fail safe? What is fail safe? It indicates whenever you are traversing within the, you can say any iterator, it allows you to do the modification in the original structure. It will not give you any error. That's fail safe. But when you say fail fast, it means if while traversing, while using iterator and list iterator, you may receive the exception if you try to modify the original structure. That is what the three iterators we have seen into the last class. Also, I have talked about clonable interface, random access interface into the last class. Then I have given you the need of comparable and comparator. When I'm saying I want to compare, it means behind the scene, I'm actually using something called as sorting technique. How do you compare the data? Basically, you compare the data by performing some sorting technique, correct? So now, what is today's agenda? Let me first explain you day 13 agenda. In day 13, we will first focus on comparator once again and comparable. That's what we have seen comparable in the last class, but today we will see comparator. Then I'll explain about set hierarchy, and then I'll explain about map hierarchy. This completes our collection, and then we will go ahead to the file handling in Java. And that is what is today's agenda. So I'll just save this at correct location. This is day 13. All right. So let us continue with you can say the meaning of comparator and comparable. Before proceeding ahead, could you get a time to solve these practice questions? Yes or no? All right. Done? Perfect. I can see only one person have said yes. Rest others? Done. Okay. Perfect. All right. So I request everyone, please make sure you please try to solve the practice questions at the earliest. The reason is you will otherwise forget the concepts and I do not want that, right? Good. So let us continue with, you can say, the last example of comparable. Now, as far as comparison is concerned, right? The first thing that comes in our mind, when I say I want to compare, then it means I want to do some sorting. That is what is required. Now, when I say I want to do some sorting, that means I require some sort method, correct? Now, if I'm saying in my java.util package, there is a class which is called as collection class. And when you talk about collections class, it is having methods, something called as sort method. But when I say I want to sort the data, then behind the scene, there must be someone who can do the comparison, right? Who can do the comparison. Now, when we say the sort method, it is having this kind of declaration. I'll just write it over here and explain you. Now, this is what is the signature of sort method, which is mentioned in the class collection.sort. Next, if you say there is one more sort, you can say declaration. I'll copy this, right? And I will just paste it for your reference. There are two variations of sort, correct? Now let us understand both the variations properly. Listen very carefully. The first sort method is having the name of the method is sort, but it is taking one argument, any list. So you can perform the sorting on any list type of architecture or list type of collection. What is a list type of a collection? It can be array list, it can be a stack, it can be vector, it can be a linked list. Perfect. The second variation of sort is having the first argument as a list architecture, list interface, and the second it is having as a comparator. Now, when to go for first method, when to go for second method, let me explain. Please understand, if I'm saying if we have only one field or if we have to sort based on only one field within the collection, any collection, which type of collection? List type of collection. That means if I want to sort based on only one field within the collection, in that case, let us say I'll go for a simple sort method and I'll pass some list. Is it okay? Have you understood up to this point? I'm revising the things. Perfect. The way, if I'm saying sort list, what does it do? Whenever we use a sort method, behind the scene, it uses one interface. And what is that interface? The name of the interface is comparable. Right? Now, if I'm saying interface comparable, then why it is using interface comparable? Because inside this comparable, there is one method. So, could you please recollect and tell me, कल हमने अगर यहाँ पे comparable लिखा था, तो कौन सा method override किया था? We need to override this particular function of type T. T can be any parameter. Is it okay? Everyone, have you understood up to this point? Right. Next point. Let us assume next requirement. If we wish to sort based on multiple parameters within the collection, this is my requirement. I have to sort movie based on the year. I have to sort movie based on the name. I have to sort movie based on something called as ratings. In that case, I will use sort. I'll say list, whatever can be the list. Sort based on parameter 1. What is this parameter? It is nothing but one object. I'll just pass reference variable. I'll help you out how to go for. If I want to sort in the list based on another reference, I'll say reference 2. Sort basically based on the list, maybe on reference number 3, and so on. But when you use sort method with two parameters, in that case, it goes to the interface called as comparator. Interface comparator. Now, when I say interface, it is having its own method, which is to be implemented compulsory. In this case, you have to override compare method. You have to override compare method. Let's check. There is an interface called as comparator in java.util, and there is an interface in java.lang called as comparable. Please check. Comparable is a generic type of interface which can take any type of object. It is having a method called as compare to. तो अगर मेरा क्लास कंपैरेबल इंटरफेस को इंप्लीमेंट करता है तो 100% मुझे उस क्लास के बॉडी में कंपेयर टू फंक्शन लगने वाला है. सेम इज द केस ओवर हियर. Comparator is also can take any type of a parameter, that means a generic type of an interface, where if it is having a method, then please check I have compare method which is going to compare maybe T1 or TO2. That means here I have to override the method which is compare. Could you understand up to this point? This interface comes under java.util and this interface comes under java.lang. Are we okay? मतलब ultimately collection को sort करने के लिए आप collections.sort method ही लिखोगे, लेकिन अगर आप list लिख रहे हो तो background में वो compare to function को call करता है. अगर आप list के साथ कुछ parameter पास करते हो तो background में वो comparator के पास जाएगा. Is it okay now? Have you understood up to this point? Everyone. Again, why we are overriding? I hope you remember the basic feature of interface. Whenever you implement any, you can say any interface, you should override the methods within it. Are you okay? Right. ठीक है. Let us see. Next point. If you can recollect yesterday's lecture, if you observe, we have said comparable. अगर comparable है तो मैं एक ही method को override करूंगी compare to. Next point. If I'm saying I am creating a class movie implements comparable, I have three fields, constructor, and I'm comparing this data. What I'm comparing this year minus object, whatever object that it is getting passed. It works on the collection. So when I say collection, it will iterate on its own. That's how it is. I have a toString method, and I hope you remember we have created an array list having 4 fields. We have tried to print this data, and I want to sort it. Whenever I want to sort any list, I will go for collection.sortList. And when I say I have passed this list in the sort method, as I've passed only one parameter, it will see list is of which type. It is a list, array list type. Is it of movie type? Yes, it will go in the movie class. Is my movie class is implementing comparable? Yes. If it is implementing the comparable, do I have a compare to method? Yes. And then it is comparing the year one after the another and sorting. The sorting is done. Did you understand the flow of execution? Everyone. Just check it out. I have given collection.sortList. Correct? And this list is nothing but of which type? It is of array list. Of which type? Of movie type. Right? So let us check. Background mein I'm going to comparable, and in the comparable in the collections I'm using this particular method which is called as sort method. I'll just copy this. Give me a second. This sort method. It is static method, right? And that's the reason I have written collections as a class name. Next, I have given a sort method. What is my list over here? Is my array list? Is a list? Yes. T kya hai? Here it is movie. And what is my list name? I've passed list. Did you understand what parameters I have passed within the sort method? This is how the parameters are considered. But here it is also saying, what is T? T is my movie over here. Is it extends comparable? Yes. Is it having the any super call called as movie? Means ऐसा कोई object जो movie type का ही रहेगा, सिर्फ वो ही मैं sort कर सकती हूँ. I cannot sort the data of one movie class and maybe one another class. I have to perform the sorting on related type of object I hope now you have understood this. So how does it check? It will say, there's a movie. This movie, is it implementing comparable? Is it implementing comparable? That's the first point it will check. Answer is yes. If the answer is yes, then only it will go ahead. And then only if it is comparable, it will search for compare to method inside movie class. Do we have it? Do we have it? Answer is yes. And then it will perform the sorting. Is it okay? And then it will perform the sorting. This is how the actual flow is. Are we okay? I hope the things are clear now. Right. In my list, how many objects I have passed? In the list, I have 4 objects. Since the sort method works on the collection, it will iterate on its own. Right? So now, what is happening within the compare to? Let us understand. Inside the compare to, I have compared based on year. Do you agree? Correct. How many values I have? 2020, 2019, 2017, 2023. So I'll say, let us consider I have total 4 values, which is 2000, what I've passed, 20, 2019, then 2017 and 2023. So initially, when it will be starting its comparison, first 2 values are considered, 2020 and 2019. Where can I say here it will be this and here it will be O. This dot year and O dot year इन दोनों का comparison होगा. Whoever is bigger one, that will be taken out, or whoever is a smaller one, that will be taken out. Is it okay? This is like an iteration which is going to happen. Once again, if this is taken, then 2020 is again compared with 2017. So maybe it will go ahead and it will try to compare this data and this data, this data and this data. Ultimately, it will do the sorting on its own like a sort technique, any merge sort technique. Have you understood up to this point? So first these two compare, then these two compare, then this two compare, and so on and so forth. So the background it uses some sorting technique. Are we okay? I hope you have understood flow of comparable. अभी कुछ डाउट है कंपैरेबल में? इस प्रोग्राम में किधर डाउट है? फ्लो कैसे एग्जीक्यूट हुआ? नहीं. Perfect. Shall I go ahead? All right. Let us take another example. Let us assume I'm taking the same example of class movie, right? And I'm saying implements comparable. Obviously, I have to specify of type movie. Now, when I'm using comparable, it says movie class must implement its unimplemented method. That means I have to override a compare to function. That's one point. I'm just saying return current object dot year minus this object dot o. That's what I'm writing in compare to. But here, obviously, I need some maybe fields, double rating. Maybe I'll just say string name and I'll pass some year. That's how it will go ahead. Next point. Let us assume I have some constructor where I'm specifying the fields, rating and string name and integer year. So here I'll say this dot rating is equal to rating, this dot name is equal to name, and this dot year is equal to year. Right. So everyone, could you realize that we have seen, could you realize that we have basically tried to maintain the similar type of functionality? Correct. If you want getter and setter, that is also okay. Otherwise, I'll just, if you declare those as private, you will require getter and setter. Otherwise, let me just have a toString and I'm printing this. Right? So, when, yes, O dot year. So this will be current object dot year and O dot year. This will try to compare between 2 objects. Correct. Now, now, at this moment, if you can observe, My movie class is implementing only one interface, comparable. Correct? Now, suppose I've created comparable. If I pass list of movies and I'll say collection.sort, and inside the bracket, I'll pass that list. Will it go to the movie class? Of course, yes. Will it say it is comparable? Yes. Will it check compare to? Yes. Will it sort and give me the result? Yes. This is one field that we have done. But now the point over here, which comes to us is, if, let us say, I'm creating this as private too. Correct? I'll just write some getters and setters. All right. Next point. Let us understand. Suppose I want to modify based on ratings. Or suppose I want to modify based on name. So what's the solution? Here, if you want to modify based on rating, so please make sure you create a class to compare movie ratings. Again, you create a class to compare movie based on names. Let's see how it works. Let us first understand the, you can say, program structure. I'm creating a class rating compare. You can give any name to it. It should implement something called as comparator. Comparator कौन से type का है? Comparator movie type का है. So if you want to do the comparison on any other parameter, you cannot write here implements comparator and comparable both. The reason is the compiler will get confused whether to compare with the help of comparable, whether to compare with the help of comparator. So at a time, you can either have a comparable or you can have a comparator. So what we have done, जितने fields आपके class में है, जिस fields के ऊपर आपको sorting करना है, आपको filtering करना है, accordingly, those many classes you have to create explicitly. And those classes must not implement comparable, they must implement comparator. Why? You will get the answer. For this, I will import java.util package. And as I'm saying, implements comparator. So in this case, I have to add, you can see the unimplemented method. Let's check. I'll say if my O1 is movie 1 dot, I'm using get rating is less than O2 dot get rating, right? I'll just say return -1. Else, or maybe I'll say O1 dot get rating is greater than O1 dot get rating. I'll just say return 1. Else, I'll return 0. If they both are same, I'll return 0. So this is just like a logic that we have written within the compare function. Is the point is clear to everyone? Right. So what I have done into this case, this is O2, right? In this case, thank you. So in this case, you are trying to compare based on the rating. Next, as I've said, I have to create one more class, which is movie based on names, sorting the movie based on names. So I'll just say class. Maybe I'll give name comparison or name compare, which implements, quickly tell me, shall I write here comparable or comparator? I shall always use comparator. In this comparator, which is of this type, obviously a movie type. As it is saying, you have to implement unimplemented method. कौन सा method आया? Compare method आया. So here, when I'm saying I'm writing a compare method, I'll just return maybe O1 dot get name dot compare to O2 dot get name. All right. So can you see here? We have tried to perform the comparison. Please understand. Can you please tell me O1 dot get name का data type क्या है? Data type क्या है? String? Right. एक string को दूसरी string के साथ आप compare कैसे कर सकते हो? Compare to से कर सकते हो. Why would I check sequence wise. Are you okay? String is having its own predefined method, compare to method, which is used for comparison of result. If it is comparing the two string object, if both are equal, it is going to return me 0. That's how I'll compare. Are you okay? I hope you are getting the things. Perfect. So let us try to write mean now. I'll take the same object creation from here. I'll create an array list and let's try to print the array list. We have created array list. I'll import java.util array list. I'll add 4 objects to it. I'll print it. I want to sort the array list. If I just write collections dot sort and I'll pass the list. Can you please quickly tell me, in this scenario, my sorted list will look like or will be sorted based on which field? Based on which field? Rating, name or year? It will be based on year. ऐसा क्यों? Because हमने collection dot sort list pass किया है. List is of type array list of movie. Is my movie is having comparable? Yes, within this comparable, I have a compare to. I am trying to compare based on the year. So sorting will be based on year. Let us execute this. Can you observe the output? Everyone here. Just a second. Can you see the output? It is sorting based on the year. Yes or no? Perfect. Now, let us try with another scenario. I'm saying, the slide is not working. Okay. I'll just say, in this case, I'll keep the video off because slide just went off. Okay. I need to check. Yeah. All right. So let us say, I want to sort array list based on rating. So for sorting based on the rating, do I have something called as a rating compare class? Correct. So first point, you need to create object, maybe RC is equal to new rating compare. Okay. Second point, here I'll pass collections dot sort. I want to sort, but right now I want to sort this list not based on the year, but based on rating. Could you understand? I have used the second sort technique or second type of a sorting method where I've passed the list and I have passed comparator object. So check it out here. I'll use this, correct? And check this. Once again, I have said I want to sort the collection, which is a list, but RC is my object. In this scenario, if you see what is list, you all know what is list and you know what is RC. List is my array list. Of which type? Of movie type. RC is nothing but rating compare class ka object. And this is also implements comparator. Of which type? Of movie type. Since it's a static method, that's the reason you have used collections dot sort, right? I'll just make a correct statement. Collections dot sort, right? In this case, please observe the sort method is having the first argument as a list and I have passed list. The sort method is having the type parameter as a T. I have passed type parameter as a T, which is nothing but movie in our case. The second parameter that it is taking is a comparator question mark super T. It means I have passed one reference variable RC. And what is a comparator object? It is having the super interface as super call as a movie. Is my movie, that particular object which is called as rating compare, is belonging to the movie class? Yes. Is my rating compare is having a comparator of type movie? Yes. Can you see my rating compare object is implementing comparator of type movie only? Have you understood the syntax part? Yes or no? हमने रेटिंग क्लास, इट इज लोअर बाउंड, दैट्स ट्रू, क्योंकि अगर मुझे कोई स्पेसिफिक क्लास का फील्ड को एक्सेस करना है तो वो क्लास में ही वो बिलोंग होना चाहिए ना, उसके सुपर क्लास में नहीं चाहिए. Correct. Now check the output. I have used sorting based on rating. It will see collection.sort. Okay. It will see list. Okay. List is of which type? Array list of movie type. Is my list having the another parameter RC? Yes. It will go to what is RC? There is an object of rating compare. It will go to rating compare class. Is it implementing the comparator? Yes. But is it of the same type of my list type? Yes. Do I have a compare method? Of course, yes. It is comparing and sorting. Are we okay? And if I'm saying I want to sort based on name, then what? If I want to sort based on the name, I'll just say, what's my class name? Name compare, NC is equal to new name compare, and where I'll say again collections.sort, bracket mein I'll pass list and I'll pass NC. Let us check the output. I have not printed. Give me a second. After sort, we need to print the list, right? I'll print it. Can you see? This was my initial array list. When I have passed collection.sort, it's sorted based on the year. So year field is sorted. When I say sort based on the rating, in that case, it is sorting based on the rating. When I say sort based on the name, it is sorting based on the name. Did you all understand when to go for comparator and when to go for comparable? I'll wait over here. I want you all to see the code and understand the output. Are you looking through the code? Guys, when I'm saying super, it means it should have the inter same, जहां पे आपका T है, ये movie type का ही comparable होना चाहिए, comparator होना चाहिए. That's what it means. Is it okay? Is it okay? All right. Just refresh the page. You will be able to see the code. Right. Question mark indicates wild, you can say, I hope you remember in generics, wildcard. I hope you remember the things. I'll show you the points. Generics में हमने wild card देखा था. Can you see? Do you remember this? Wildcard. Right. Have I covered these points? Yeah. So this is question mark. Question mark extends number. Question marks super integer. कुछ याद आया? Right. Correct. So did you understand up to this point? Code is not visible. I'll just check. Give me a moment. Can you please let me know, is the code visible to others? Right. Aniket, can you please check at your end? The others are able to see the code. Okay. See, if you write this double quotes and this dot here minus O dot here, that will be a string comparison. Do you need to go for string comparison? No. All right. You can use, this is the easiest logic. Shall we go ahead now? Shall we go ahead? Perfect. Good. I'll go to documentation. I'll go to java.util. I have a array list. And I hope you are now able to understand in, or you can say somewhere, I'll go to integer class. Let us take integer. Java.lang, integer class. And are you able to understand this? Yes or no? कुछ समझ में आया अभी? It means, quickly tell me, if it is implementing comparable, तो integer class के अंदर कौन सा function 100% रहेगा? Methods compare to. Is it okay? Is it okay? Yes, of course. Check the float. Is the float objects are comparable? Yes. Please understand. I'll take a very small example. New Java project, day 13_2. So I'll close this. If you write here, int n1 is equal to 15, int n2 is equal to 15, and if I just say system.out.println, n1 equal to n2. Can you see I'm getting the answer as true? Yes or no? Correct. Let's check. I have created one integer object v1 is equal to new integer, and I'm passing 25. This feature is actually deprecated, but let us check. v2 is equal to new integer. Maybe I'm passing 25 again, right? The feature is deprecated, but I want to just explain you few points. Let us check. Can you see I'm getting false? Why I'm getting false? Because they are objects. But if I say v1 dot compare to v2, can you see I'm getting answer as 0? 0 indicates the values are same. Are you okay? Why it was possible for me to give a call to compare to? Because integer objects are implementing comparable. तो जब आपको दो values check करनी है, you go for equal to sign. दो objects compare करने हैं, तो आपको या तो comparable चाहिए या तो comparator चाहिए. Is it okay? Are you okay? Did you all understood the meaning and the need of comparable and the comparator interface? Got it. Next point. Can you compare? Can you compare to float? You can check methods में compare to रहेगा, compare रहेगा. अगर compare to है तो it basically compares to float objects numerically. Numerically means आपके internal object के अंदर data you can say same है. It returns 0 if another float is numerically equal to the another float. Are you okay? Same is the case with integer. Check methods. It is having compare to. If it is having compare to, it returns 0 if integer is equal to argument of another integer. Have we got the same thing? Yes, that's what I wanted to prove. So can I say if two, you can say objects are both are of type integer, they can be compared. If two objects, if methods are compared to, both should be of type float. If I'm saying, let us say character, is it having comparable? Yes, but यहाँ पे both or must be of type character. If I was working with the movie class, right? And if I was having a comparable, it must be of movie type only. If I'm using comparator, it must be of movie type only. क्योंकि in comparison, similar type of objects, similar type of data type में ही हो सकता है. You cannot compare integer with a string. Are you okay? That's the reason. I hope now you have understood why it is mentioned T everywhere. Are we okay? Compare method भी integer class में है, but it's not implementing comparator. It is taken from your super class. Inherited. Is it okay? It's inherited method. Next, let's check. If you have something called as system, is my system class is implementing comparable? No. That means क्या आप system class के दो objects को compare कर सकते हो? नहीं कर सकते हो, क्योंकि उन दोनों में comparison ही नहीं हो सकता है. जहां पे comparison possible है, उधर ही comparable आएगा. Are you getting? Right. Compare to and equals are same? No. Equals method belongs to the object class. Compare to method belongs to comparable. There's a huge difference. Okay? Check this out. String. Is my string objects are comparable? Yes, they are comparable. Right? So you can compare the string values. For this, I have a method called as compare to, which can be compared two strings lexicographically. Means it will check the internal contents within the string. Are we okay? Did you all understand how the design of or when to go for comparison and comparator? Java.util, if you go to a collection, many collections have different sub-interfaces. And you can see, let us talk about list. In this case, if you see list, I have an array list, I have a linked list, stack and the vector. Array list is having its own implemented interface, only these many. ऐसा क्यों? क्योंकि हम array list is can be of any type, right? You cannot compare two different array lists. That's the reason यहाँ पे comparable है ही नहीं, इसलिए आपके पास method compare to है ही नहीं. Are you okay? I hope you all have understood the meaning of comparator and comparable. Guys, array list is a generic class. अगर मैं आपको बोलूंगी कि एक array list 1, array list 2, compare them. Can you compare? No. The things which you cannot compare, वहां पे comparable होगा ही नहीं. Is it okay? ठीक. Shall we proceed? Let me go to somewhere called as interface. Right? You all have seen clonable. You all have seen marker. Check this out. Comparable. It's in java.lang. Compare to is a method which is to be, you can say, used. You can say here it returns the value integer. How it checks the state of one object and another object. -1 is lesser than, +1 is greater than 0 if it is equal. If we want to sort array of non-primitive type, which contains all the instances of same type, we should implement comparable. And what about comparator? It's there in java.util. Compare. Here also it returns -1, plus and 0. If we want to sort array of instances of non-primitive type of different types, we should implement comparator. Is it okay? Iterable iterator, I've explained yesterday, and I've also explained enumeration. This is how I'm concluding interface part now. Is it fine? Let us talk about the next hierarchy, which is called as set hierarchy. Good. Any questions so far? Could you realize why I have not covered the things with respect to interface previously and why I covered it today? I hope you have now understood the need of different interfaces. correct? Right, perfect. So now you came to know how interfaces in java.lang packages have their, you can say, special use and how these are easy to go for. करेक्ट. तो जब मैं आपको क्लास इंटीजर दिखा रही थी java.lang पैकेज में, right, and I also have initially, whenever I have shown you class integer, I have only shown you on in the first lecture, just consider this a class integer, just consider it is extending number. Then later on, when I have taught you the public keyword and the final, then I've said just consider this line. But now I am assuming everyone have understood the meaning of this complete structure, the way it is written. Yes or no? The things in Java comes gradually. In the first day, you will not be able to understand all. That's the reason I've said you have to keep trust on me, right? Same, even if you talk a linked list, or if you go to java.util, if you go to any list, so maybe array list, initially I have said, please ignore all the points, just observe up to this point. But now I can easily tell to all of you, you can understand up to this point. Serializable, you will understand after file handling. But have you understood the complete scenario of how to use interfaces? What is the need of interface? What do you mean by iterator, iterable, list iterator, enumeration? And you have also understood something called as random access, clonable, and the comparator and comparable. Most commonly used, these are the interfaces in Java programming. Correct? Good. Perfect. Let us talk about the next hierarchy, which is set hierarchy. So whenever we talk about set, it comes under java.util. It is an interface somewhere in S over here. It's a set interface. Now, when we were talking about list hierarchy, the list was having the elements which was ordered. Ordered means जैसे आपने elements insert किए वैसे ही आपको output में दिखता था. Point number 2, when you were talking about list, the lists were having, you can say, duplicate elements also, right? And when you talk about list can have one or more number of null values also. आप null भी add कर सकते हो. But if you want the difference, then again, I have put one document in today's folder, array list versus linked list. You can read, it's like a reading that you can do. But here I have also mentioned in the last class, want to go for insertion and removing operation? Linked list is the best choice. Want to go for searching? Array list would be your best choice. Why? I've given you the details about it. You can read it later on. I've given few things with respect to the linked list in the you can say how to add a node, why you need a linked list, and so on. So you can do this readings. It is easy to go. So when you were talking about list, we said multiple values are also allowed. Duplicate values are also allowed. Null was also allowed, and it was ordered collection of sequence. Next, when we talk about set, it is an interface who can take any type parameter. It is a collection. That's why it extends the collection. A set is a collection that contains no duplicate elements. It means the set contains no pair of elements which are equal. And it allows at the most only one null element. तो अगर आपको आपके कलेक्शन में डुप्लीकेट एलिमेंट्स नहीं चाहिए और अगर आपको आपके कलेक्शन में नल एलिमेंट एक ही होना चाहिए, then you can go for set. So here, there's something called as hash set. There's something called as linked hash set. There is a tree set and there is something sorted set also. That's a sub interface. Check this out. Linked hash set. It is a hash table and a linked list representation of set with predictable iteration order. Predictable iteration order means you can predict what will be the output of the list. Next, when you talk about tree set, it's a class, can take any type of a parameter. The class tree set is clonable, navigable, and serializable. The elements are ordered using their natural ordering and by a comparator provided by set at the creation time. But here, in case of trace set, you can have different functions like add, remove, contains, and so on. Ordering maintained by a set must be consistent with equals. We will see the examples, don't worry. Then is a sorted set. Its interface. It allows total ordering of its element. Total ordering means all the elements will be completely ordered. Then there is a hash set. The class implement the set interface backed by a hash table. तो अगर hashing technique use होती है, hash table map use होता है, hash map use होता है, then that is nothing but hash set. But in case of set, always the first basic requirement is you may not have a duplicate value in any type of a set collection. So I'll write it over here. Set does not allow duplicate elements. Right? Now let's check. Hash set. We will create a hash set. Let's see. There is a hash set. There's a method. It's having add, maybe clear, clone, contains, is empty, iterator, remove, maybe size, and so on. Split iterator, and so on. So the add will try to add some element in the hash set. So how do you create a hash set? As we know, it's a class, right? So I'll just say hash set. We will go for hash set of type integer. Maybe hs is equal to new hash set of type integer. I'll say java.util, that's a hash set. We will try to add some elements. So maybe hs.add, I'll say 220. hs.add, maybe 115. hs.add, maybe I'll say 340. hs.add, maybe 450. And hs.add, maybe 99. Any elements I'm putting. I'll just try to print hs, that is hash set. Let's execute. And can you see the order is not maintained? Do you agree? Right. Next point. Let's check. hs.add. I'm adding one more time 220. That means I'm adding one duplicate element, and let us execute this once again. Can you see here duplicate is not allowed? Next, hs.add, I'll say null. Let's check. Is it allowing null? Yes. Here I'll write only one null value is allowed. Let's try to add one more null. Can you see it's allowing only one null value? Yes or no? You can use for each loop. You can go for printing it using toString. You can go for a simple for loop and check up to the size of a hash set. And you can go for any method. You can go for iterator also. The reason is hash set also is having a function called as iterator. तो आप list iterator और iterator method use कर सकते हो. Can you see iterator है तो आपको iterator use करना पड़ेगा. Right. Next point. Let us say I'll go for some hash set creation with any other user-defined data type, right? Yes, background में it maintains a hash table, right? Let us say I'll go for class employee. And maybe I have some private string name, right? And then I'll say private integer ID. I'll just have a constructor using fields. I'll say generate. Constructor is created. I'll just go for overriding equals and hash code on ID and name. So I've just overridden hash code and equals. I'll just write some getters and setters because I have written private fields. And I will just override a toString. Okay, just save it. Everyone, are you able to understand? And do you remember something called as hash code and equals method. याद है कुछ? Have I covered this point? Perfect. Good. String में ठीक है. Hold on. Let us say I'm creating a hash set of type employee. सिर्फ string में ही cover किया है क्या? Guys, हमने एक यूजर डिफाइंड क्लास बनाया था एम्प्लॉय, जहां पे हमने एम्प्लॉय के ऑब्जेक्ट के कंटेंट्स को चेक किया था, याद है? एंड ऑब्जेक्ट के कंटेंट्स अगर सेम थे फिर भी हमें वो रिटर्न वैल्यू फॉल्स देता था. द रीजन इज ऑब्जेक्ट के कंटेंट्स चेक नहीं हो रहे थे, सिर्फ ऑब्जेक्ट का रेफरेंस चेक हो रहा था. इसलिए हमने क्या किया था? इक्वल्स एंड हैश कोड को ओवरराइड किया था. हैव आई कवर्ड दिस पॉइंट? और अगर आप किसी भी क्लास में इक्वल्स एंड हैश कोड को ओवरराइड करते हैं, then the content within that objects are being checked within that hash code and equals. Perfect. So I'll say hash set hs is equal to new hash set of type employee. Next, I have to import java.util. Let us say I'll write hs.add maybe new employee. What fields I've passed? One is name, another is id. So I'll pass some name and I'll pass some id. Next, I'll pass one more parameter, maybe 789, maybe 456. This is employee 2 and let us say this is employee 3. Let us try to print the data for each employee in E. In this HS, let's try to print E. So it will give a call to toString and it is going to print the data for us, right? Let us try to go for system.out.println HS. So let us see what is the value inside HS. So I hope you are able to understand. This is printing the data for me, and inside my hash set, first employee, second employee, and third employee, or all are included. Are we okay? Right. Now, let us assume I am passing one reference variable key, which is equal to new employee, and I'm passing once again Akshita, and let us say 1, 2, 3, 4. So I want to search whether this key is present within the hash set or not, whether this record is present into the set or not. So here in the hash set, you have the method which is called as contains, and let me just check hash set methods. There is a method contains. Yeah. So can you see it returns true if the set contains the specified element. But what is that element? It is a complete object. So अगर मुझे पूरा record ही search करना है, so I have created one object. I have put it into the key and I'm saying let my hs dot contains key. It will return either true or false. So let's execute. Can you see it is giving me true answer? Have you understood? So you can fetch the complete, you can have a search on a complete object and accordingly you can go for it. Did you all get how to use contains method, how to create HS? Yes or no? How to use HS for user defined data type? All right. Shall we go ahead? All right. Good. Any other doubts? No. Perfect. I request please go through this code so that we can go ahead to the next point. Means please make sure content check karega. That's true, Prajwal, because this is one object. You're passing one object as a key, so it automatically checks the key. Are we okay? Right. Please ensure whenever you are implementing the hash code, the hash set, you should have a hash code and the equals method. Why? Because behind the scene, it uses a hash table, and for that, it needs some, you can say, comparison. to store the data. Is it okay? All right. Now, suppose I'm removing this hash code, or if you can remove this, in that case, you should write your own functionality. Means ऐसा जरूरी नहीं है कि आपने predefined functionality लिखना चाहिए. You can compare based on anything, but the method name must be same. Okay? All right. So have you understood how to go for a hash set? Perfect. Shall we go ahead with the next class? Right. Next class is a linked hash set. I'll create a new Java project. So ऐसा जरूरी नहीं है कि आप लोग सिर्फ primitive type का ही hash set create कर सकते हो. That's the reason I've covered one example, creating a hash set of non-primitive type also. Okay? ठीक. Now, let's go ahead and observe. Suppose I'm creating a linked hash set. Maybe I'm writing of type string. LHS is equal to new linked hash set of type string. Let us try to import using java.util. And let us say I'll write linked hash set dot add. I'm inserting some data to it. LHS dot add. Maybe I'll say Pune. Then LHS dot add. Maybe I'll say Infotech. Again, LHS dot add. I'll say Hinjawadi. Or LHS dot add. Maybe I'll add this. Right? Let us just try to first print what is there in linked hash set. So I'll just see. Can you see? It is an ordered set. Ordered set. What do you mean by ordered set? Ordered means the way I'm inserting the data, it is following the same sequence in which I have inserted the data. That is called as ordered set. Next, let us check. We are trying to add one more element. Once again, I'm inserting Sunbeam. Let's check. Is it allowing duplicate elements? No. So here, no duplicate values are allowed. Next, let us check LHS.add. I'm entering null. When you say null, can you see it's allowing null? Right. Next, let us try to add in between some null. Can you see? It is basically not reflecting the another data. So allowing null, but only once. The same way, the methods that we have used in hash set, rest all the methods have same. Only the points that you need to remember is, in a linked hash set, it maintains the sequence that is called as ordered. Maintains the sequence of, you can say, data. Is it sorted? No, it is unsorted. Kuch samajh mein aaya? It's not sorting the data. It's just maintaining the way you have entered. Are we okay? Yes or no? So in this case also, it's allowing you null, but it is basically trying to have only one null. These all properties that you have to remember for linked hash set. जैसा आपका property requirement, वैसे आपका class का need and वैसे आपका class का implementation. If I'm saying I do not want to maintain the data in the sorted manner, but I want only one element to be null. I do not want duplicate entries also. In that case, I will just say linked hash set. Can you see? It maintains the same sequence the way I have entered the data. Sunbeam Pune Infotech, Sunbeam Pune Infotech, null, then Hinjawadi, then Hinjawadi. Then I have entered Akshita, it is entering Akshita. I have entered Sunbeam, so it is already there. Null, it was already there. That's how it is. If you change here null value, put it over here, it will add it at the end. Are we okay? Take. I'll just copy this. Correct? And instead of linked hash set, let us try to maintain a tree set. I'll just write here a tree set. These are very easy. सिर्फ आपको कुछ properties याद रखनी है, right? I'll just make change. I'll say let me create a tree set with TS is equal to new tree set. Obviously, we need to import java.util. Wherever I've written LHS, I'll just write tree set. Right. All right. Next, let us observe. We have tried to insert Sunbeam, Pune, Infotech, Hinjawadi, and so on. Let us execute it. Can you see it is throwing null pointer exception? Right. It means it does not allow null or else NPE आएगा. That is first point that you need to remember. So in tree set, it does not allows null. Else it throws null pointer exception. Let's execute once again. Can you please observe the data is exactly sorted? Correct? So, can I say when you go for a tree set, it is unordered. Unordered means does not maintain the sequence of data. But can I say it is always sorted? Are we okay? Correct. Is it allowing me the duplicate values? No. Set में कभी भी duplicate values नहीं होती है. So these are the properties of tree set. कुछ समझ में आया? It is sorting alphabetically. True. By default, it is sorted in the ascending order. Have you understood when to go for hash set, when to go for linked hash set, and when to go for a tree set? You can go for a hash set just to maintain duplicate elements. You can have a hash set where you do not have something called as, or you want to have some null value. There are minor differences, but yes, there is a difference. According to the requirement, you can go for it. Is it okay? Perfect. Good. So, if you can see, we have a set hierarchy where we have iterable, collection, and set. We are having hash set, linked hash set, then sorted set, navigable set, and tree set. Any doubts into this? Any doubts into this? So set, hash set, tree set, and linked hash set. We have seen tree set. It uses hashing behind the scene, and that's the reason हम hash code and equals hashing equals method को overload करते हैं. Then we have a hash set, linked hash set. Are you okay? Yes or no? Perfect. Now, let us talk about file, new Java project, day 13_6. Let's talk about a map hierarchy. After this, I'll give you 2 practice questions. One is based on comparator. I'll just write it, otherwise I'll forget. Give me a second. Practice question that I'll give you. One is based on comparator and comparable. And one I'll give you based on preset. Tick. I'll give you the questions. So the last one was preset, right? Right. So I'll give you the practical example. I'll write the question, but let me first complete the map hierarchy. Whenever you were talking about collection framework, then if you can just observe the documentation once again, then I'm having collection as an interface where I have list hierarchy, set hierarchy, queue hierarchy. But whenever I'm talking about list, we have seen 4 things: array list, linked list, queue, and the vector. Vector and the stack. Again, in the queue hierarchy, we have seen the D queue, priority queue, and so on. Again, in set, we have seen tree set, linked tree set, hash set, and so on. On the similar lines, we have seen so many interfaces. They all belongs to the collection interface, but there is one more interface which is called as map. Please make sure map is a separate interface in java.util. It does not comes under the collection part, but as we say, map is also used to maintain the data structure. तो जब हम collection बताते हैं तब हम map भी बताते हैं. Correct? Please observe and tell me what is map. Is it an interface or a class? As you can see, it's an interface. Correct? Next, in this case, map can take how many number of parameters? K comma V. K stands for key and V stands for values. So if you want to maintain something called as dictionary type of a data, where you have to maintain key and the value pair, then you can always go for a map hierarchy. For example, if I'm saying in case of map, you have K comma V two things. Let us say I'm having 100 employees in a company. And can it be a possibility that 100 employees may have repetitive names? There can be 2 people or 5 people who are having the, let us say, same name as Akshita. It can be possible. But can I say if I create a tree set, तो अक्षिता नाम का एक ही रिकॉर्ड बनेगा, जबकि लोग अगर 5 है तो yes. In these types of scenarios, I have to give one more key to it. For example, when I'm talking about Akshita as a first employee, I'll supply the EMP ID as 10. That means that 10 and Akshita is one unique combination. Another employee having 20 and the Akshita. Another employee having an EMP ID 22 and Akshita. What does it mean? Per employee, I'm maintaining a combination of parameters, key and the value, EMP ID and the EMP name. That is called as a map hierarchy. Whenever you are trying to maintain some data in the form of key and a value, then that's called as map hierarchy. जैसे आप लोग भी, in your batch, there may be n number of repetitive names, but each name is identified by one roll number. That's why we say key and the value pair, right? Same is the case over here. The way I was having linked hash set, similarly, you have here hash map as an implemented class. You have linked hash map and a tree map. There are many more, but most commonly used are these. Hash map, K comma V, linked hash map, K comma V, tree map, K comma V. In this case, whenever you try to create any key and the value pair, अब आपको याद है, जब हम collection में थे, to add the element, I was having the method called as add, remove, and so on. Do you remember? Right. On the similar lines, when I'm talking about this map, then I'm going to methods. Here, do I have a add method? No. क्योंकि add method कहाँ पे था? Collection interface में था. यहाँ पे add method नहीं है. यहाँ पे we have a method called as put and get. Get is used to get the data. Put is used to put the data. There is a method which is called as key set, which returns set. It means मेरे collection map में कितने number of keys है, you can fetch it. Are you okay? We will see the example. So let us first try to work with maybe hash map. And we will write the properties here only. So I'll say I'll go for a hash map where, as we know, hash map always takes 2 type parameters. So whenever we are creating the object of hash map, it is our duty to pass 2 parameters. I'll say integer, comma string. Right. Next. For hash map, we shall import java.util.map, hash map. hm.put. I'll pass some data. Employee ID 5, maybe employee number EMP1, name. hm.put. Maybe I'll pass some employee ID as 4 and I'll say EMP2. hm.put. Maybe I'll say 12 and here I'll pass EMP3. hm.put. Maybe I'll say 200 and I'll say EMP4. And let us try to print system.out.println HM. That's a hash map. Check this. 4 EMP2, 5 EMP1, 200 EMP4, 12 EMP3. Is it maintaining the sequence? No. Can I say it is unordered? Next, is it sorting your data based on the keys? No, it is unsorted. Let's check. Is it allowing some duplicate elements? Please check and observe. I'm passing 200 as a key. I'm passing EMP5 over here. Let us check. Wherever I have a 200, it overrides the value. Means duplicate keys are not allowed. Next, what I'll do, I will have the different key, maybe 350. But here I'm giving the same name EMP5. Means duplicate values are allowed but duplicate keys are not allowed. जैसे duplicate name हो सकता है लेकिन EMP ID unique रहती है. So duplicate values are allowed. Let's check. Is it allowing me null? I'm putting the key as a null. Let's check. Is it allowing? Yes, one key is null allowed. Maybe I'm saying EMP6. Let us check one more time. I'm writing null and I'm again writing null. Both the things are null. Can you see? Only one null is allowed. Null key is allowed. So I'll write here. Null key is allowed, but only once. कुछ समझ में आया? Everyone, did you understand hash map? Right. If I'm saying I'm passing hm.put some ID as 222 and I'm putting the value as a null. That's also allowed. 222 को null value दिया है. Is it okay? Null values are allowed. Multiple null values भी चल सकते हैं. अगर multiple same value allowed है तो null भी multiple times allocate कर सकते हैं. Is it okay? Did you understand? Hash map. Yes or no? Perfect. On the similar lines, you have a tree map. I'll just copy the same data, but here we will go for tree map. So instead of hash map, I'll use tree map. Let's try first the execution and then we can change tree map. So that when you revise, you will understand it's a tree map. So let's try tree map. Here, check this out. Can you see here, duplicate keys are not allowed? Yes. So I'll just write duplicate keys are not allowed. Next, is it maintaining the order of entering the element? No, it is unordered. Is it sorted? No, it is unsorted. Let us check. Is it allowing null value? Let us execute. When you see null, no, it is going to throw null pointer exception. Is it exactly similar to your tree set? Of course, yes. Word सिर्फ change हो रहा है. Set की जगह पे यहाँ पे map है. So here we can say it does not allow null keys. Else null pointer exception. Right? Now, let us assume I want to fetch all the keys. So there is a function tm.keySet. It returns a set, maybe set s is equal to. So here, if it is returning me a set, I'll just write system.out.println. Let's try to print set. Can you see it is giving me 4, 5, 12 and 200? It is fetching all the keys, storing into a set, and I'm printing that set. Are we okay? Yes or no? Perfect. On the similar lines, you can check contains method. Let me check. Do we have a contains method? This is tree map. No, which is that? Tree map, correct. Let's check the methods. Yeah, can you see we have a contains key method? So contains key will check the key name. So we'll go for tm dot contains key. I'm passing the key as 12. It should return me true or false. It is returning true because 12th key is present into my tree map. Okay, the way you can use different methods in case of your programs, same. There's a clone, there's clear, there is comparator, there is first entry, first key, and so on and so forth. So you can use different methods. Next, if you talk about the linked map, linked hash map है, right? Linked hash map. This is also k comma b. Here, let's check how does it behaves. I'll go for linked hash map. We will first create it. Linked hash map. Instead of hash map, now we will go for linked hash map. Why is it giving error? Yeah, java.util. Perfect. Let us check. I'm trying to print linked hash map first with the same entries. We will execute this code. And can you see 5, 4, 12 and 200? It is giving me the similar kind of output. Let us check. 5, 4, 12 and 200. Yes. So here, let us check. Is it allowing duplicate entries? No, duplicate keys are not allowed. It is going to overwrite the data. Let's check. Is it allowing null? Maybe some null value, or maybe I'll say EMP6, any value. Yes, it is allowing null. So linked hash map basically is ordered sequence. जैसे मैंने insert किया है वैसे ही data आ रहा है. Unsorted, allows null values, and it is basically check. How many null values it is allowing? Can you see? It is allowing only one null value. Are we okay? Did you all understand up to this point? Perfect. Shall we go ahead? Only the things that you need to remember is whenever you go for hash map, you have to, or map hierarchy, you have the methods called as put and the get. Any more queries? No. Okay. If no, so let us come to this part. Map hierarchy. We have seen map which uses background में dictionary also. Dictionary में भी there is key and the value pair. So in case of map, it always takes k comma v. It gives two variations. One is hash map and tree map. So hash map and tree map, mostly they are used when you want to go for maintaining the data. Again, it also uses something called as hash table. So hash table में there is k comma v. If I do not want duplicate keys, but duplicate values, we can also go for hash table also. But when you go for hash table, it does not store any null value. Correct? We have seen hash map, we have seen linked hash map and the tree map. So if you could just observe the collection framework overview diagram, which I had shared on day 11. Correct? Let me just zoom it. I hope you understand. The first part was iterable, iterative collection. We have seen the list hierarchy, array list, vector, linked list, and the stack. Then we have seen a queue hierarchy where we have double-ended queue and array DQ. Then we are having a set hierarchy where we have seen hash set, linked hash set, sorted set, and tree set. Now, in case of, you can say, collection, here, when we talk about a set, it was again a generic type of an interface. If you can easily recollect, here, set has specific behavior, duplicate values were not allowed, queue having add, offer, peek, and examine, list is having its own methods. Next, later on, once this collection hierarchy was over, we have moved to map hierarchy, where we have key and the value pair. Here I have hash map, linked hash map, sorted map, and hash table. जब भी आप sorting की बात करते हो, background में it comes as comparable and comparator. Comparable is natural ordering, comparator is custom ordering, क्योंकि आपको additional sorting के fields, additional fields पे sorting करनी है. Hash map, unordered, unsorted. Linked hash map, ordered but unsorted. When you say hash table, there is not allowed null. Maybe keys and the values, they are thread safe. This concept is called as map hierarchy. When you say sorted map, it is just an interface. तो जब आपका set या map कोई भी sorted order में आता है, then it is having the super interface called as sorted map. Let's check. Somewhere you have a map hierarchy. You have sorted map. Can you see? Sorted map is an interface. And can you see its implemented classes are tree map? इसलिए आपके tree का जो data था वो हमेशा sorting में आता है. Is it okay? Is it okay? It uses comparable, it uses comparator, and so on in the background. Okay? Is it fine? Are all of you, have you now understood this complete collection framework hierarchy and the complete collection framework topic? So that I'll give you first two practice questions. After the break, we will go for java.io. IO package, input output package, which deals with file. Perfect. Now, let me go here in practice questions. Okay. Let us say you want to create a class product, correct? Having product PID, having product name, product price, and product category. Or product name, PID, price, and let us say year of manufacturing. Right? Now, all right. So, if you talk about PID, name, price, and year of manufacturing, So these are the points that you must have. So I need to display array list, or first create an array list. Create an array list, and in this array list, sort using year, sort using product ID, sort using price, and sort using name. Will you be able to do this? Everyone? Perfect. Next, in case of second example, create a class employee, and or maybe create a class student, right? And try to have roll number, ID, marks, or roll number, name, age, and marks, right? In this case, create a tree set and display details, right? Next, display list of all the roll numbers only, right? So I hope you all have understood up to this point. Will you please do these two questions as practice questions? Perfect. It will increase just confidence in you. So these are the two practice questions that I have given you. If you get time, solve it. Are we okay? Good. So shall we first take a break and then we can continue? All right. So I'll pause here. So hope everyone have understood the concept of collection framework. And here I'm concluding the topic called as collection framework. And let us switch to the new topic, complete new topic, which is called as file. So whenever we talk about file, in Java, you have a package called as java.io. There is little bit theory that you need to understand to write the programs in file handling. Now, IO stands for input and output. This package helps you to basically work on the different files. So when I say file, it can be a text file, it can be a binary file. So let me just open this file handling. And in case of file handling, you can see there can be a variable who can store some data. There can be a file who can use to store the data on hard disk. File is basically an operating system resource. When you say it's an operating system resource, means it's a Java non-Java resource. So whenever we say the file, it is non-Java resource. Why it is non-Java resource? Because it is externally present onto your hard disk, and you are going to work on the file based on applying some functionalities. There are two types of files. One is text file, another is binary file. When you work with text files, then that concept is basically .txt files. That text files are human readable. It means they are in English format. Maybe you can open that file and you can easily read that file. But there is something called as .dat files, which are called as binary files. So these binary files are always in the form of zeros and ones. These binary files are understood by the computer. You cannot basically have the reading on the binary file directly. So in your systems, you may have text files, you may have binary files. So what Java gives us? Java gives us the facility to read the text files and to read the binary files also. Java gives us facility to write the content into the text file and to write the content into the binary file. So you can perform reading and writing basic operations on text files as well as on binary files. So what are the text files? The files which are having .txt, .c, .cpp, .java, .css, .js, and so on. We can read the text file using a text editor, maybe a notepad. It can contain the data in human readable format. It requires more processing. That's why it is slower in performance. Because your system cannot understand the text file directly, so you need to basically go for reading the text file, and it needs a process for it. Next, when you say binary file, maybe a JPEG file, MP3 file, .class file, .data file, .o file, .obj file. These binary files, we need some specific program to read them. They does not contain data in human readable format. They require less processing because they are understandable by machine in a faster way. And that's why we say binary files processing is faster in performance. Now, if we talk about some paths, there are two paths, absolute and relative. As I've mentioned, file handling के लिए थोड़ा सा आपको theory पता होना चाहिए. So I'm explaining those things. Let us say I am currently in day 13 folder. And if I say this PC, D drive, Sunbeam, this folder, modular batch, this complete path till your day 13, full complete path is called as absolute path. So the path from the root directory is called as absolute path. And the path of the file from the current directory is called as relative path. So absolute path क्या है? ऐसा एक path जहां पे आप root directory से path mention करते हो, that's the absolute path. But when you say /something, in that case, it is a relative path. So many times you might have written a C program and you try to execute by typing ./a.exe. Do you remember? Right. So what does this // indicates? This / indicates your file is present in the current working directory. अगर आप // बोलते हो, so it is like a parent to parent folder. So this is called as relative path. What is a relative path? The path which is from your current directory is called as relative path. So every path have some file or a directory. There is some root directory. There are some subdirectories. There's some file name. They are separated by / or a /. If you're in Windows, you give /. If you are in Linux or Unix, you give /. That is what is basically the name of the path or absolute and relative path. Correct? Now, whenever you want to deal with the files in Java, what is file handling? Maybe you want to perform some reading operation. Maybe you want to perform some writing operations. Maybe you want to create a file. You want to delete the file, create the directory, delete the directory. For all these things, you need file handling in Java. But how to do it? We cannot have or we do not have direct classes available in java.lang, which can work with a file. But yes, we have one package, java.io, another package, java.nio. N stands for native IO package. This we will not see. We will see java.io. Whenever you are working with java.io, it means you are going to work with input and output with respect to files. So majorly in all the programs of file handling, you have to import which package? Java.io package. Have you understood up to this point, everyone? Yes or no? Perfect. Next, when I say a console, it's a class which is there in java.io, which is used for representing the terminal. In java.io, there are interfaces. There is a class which is called as file class. File is the class from java.io. Serializable and comparable. Comparable आपको पता है. Serializable we will talk later. It is a abstract representation of a file and a directory path names. Now, it is having constructor. Let us assume I'm writing one program where I'm writing some string, path name is equal to maybe test.txt. This is my file. This is my string. I want to create, what is my problem statement? Create a file having name as test.txt. So normally if you want to create a file, then we are in day 13_7. You go to source, you right click, you say new and you say file. This is how we go for normally creating a text file, correct? But suppose I do not have this right to do. I want to create a file having test.txt using the Java program, correct? So currently in my 13_7 folder, in the source folder, I have only my own Java file. What I want to do, I want to create a file. Now, to create a file, we have a method. And what is that method? The name of the method is create new file. Can you see this? Everyone, it is present in the class file. It automatically creates a new empty file named by the path name. If and only if the file that does not exist. What is its return type? Boolean. Means it will return either true or the false after creation. Next, is it a static or non-static method? Is it static or non-static? It is non-static. So can you please tell me, मुझे क्या यहाँ पे लगने वाला है? Object. Right. कौन से क्लास का ऑब्जेक्ट लगेगा? फाइल क्लास का ऑब्जेक्ट लगेगा. Perfect. So now, whenever we create object of any class, background में what gets called? Everyone. Whenever you create an object, then what gets called? Constructor gets called. Perfect. So let us observe. Class file is having constructors. Let us assume I'm using the second constructor. I'm saying file, maybe f is equal to new file, and I'll pass here path name. Maybe I'll say fobj. For file, I need to import java.io. I will import this. Line number 9. Please observe and tell me which constructor I have used. First, second, third or fourth. Second. जैसे आप स्कैनर क्लास का ऑब्जेक्ट बनाते थे, ब्रैकेट में system.in लिखते थे, याद आया कुछ? सिमिलरली फाइल क्लास का ऑब्जेक्ट बनाने के लिए आपको कोई तो फाइल चाहिए जहां पे वो मेरा फाइल ऑब्जेक्ट पॉइंट करेगा. Yes, of course. So did you understand this much syntax? Perfect. Next, I'll say fobj.create new file. Whenever I am creating a new file, its return type is Boolean. Let me store it into the bool variable. Maybe let us say status. Did you all understand up to this point? Everyone? Perfect. So I have first created a file path, file object. I have gone to the create new file. I request everyone, please observe, throws IO exception. Throws IO exception. IO exception comes under which category? Checked or unchecked? Checked or unchecked? Guys, it is not having the superclass as runtime exception. That's the reason it is coming under the checked category. Perfect. If it is coming under the checked category, do we need to handle it while the application development? Of course, yes. If we need to handle it, the question is how to handle it. Either by writing try and catch or by writing throws. Do you remember? Throws. Perfect. So let us check. Can you see it is saying unhandled exception type IO exception? Either add a throws declaration or surround with a try and catch. कुछ समझ में आया? Let me add it surround with try and catch. Can you see? It has added as try and catch on its own. Perfect. Let us just try to print the status. All right. Is it okay? All right. Let us observe. Currently, I'm not having test.txt file. So it is going to create a file. It is checking the status. It is going to print the status. Let us execute this code. Can you see it is giving me status is equal to true? Yes, of course. But how do I ensure that test.txt file is created? Please check. In this case, my current folder is day 13_7. Did it created test.txt document in my current folder right now? Check the time. You can also see it from here. Right click, refresh, can you see it has created test.txt file through my Java program. Currently, this file is empty, right? Right now, this file is empty. It's not having anything, but at least that file is created. So did you understand the first program, creating a file using the Java program? Perfect. Next time, let us say I'm executing this code once again. Can you see it is giving status is equal to false? Why it gave me status is equal to false? It is because it tried to create test.txt file, but it was already created. If the file is already present, it is going to give me boolean is equal to false. कुछ समझ में आया? Everyone? Right. Let us say I'll exactly copy the same code, and instead of try and catch are taking more than 4 lines of a code, I'll remove this try and catch block. Right? And it is saying add a throws declaration. Can you see? Main के आगे throws आया है. Right. Is the line of code is reduced? Yes, it is reduced. Since my test.txt file is already present, so it is returning me false. Let's try to delete it and execute this program once again. It will say status is equal to true. I'll just right click and refresh this, and you will be seeing test.txt. And you can see test.txt is being created just now. Right? Now, at what point in this case it is IO exception will occur? Suppose in your file, in your directory, in your hard disk, there is no space. If there is a no space in your hard disk, will I be able to create a new file? No. Are you getting? In those scenarios, there will be the exception. या फिर ऐसा हो जहां पे आपको किसी डायरेक्टरी में कोई फाइल क्रिएट करने का राइट ही नहीं है. In that case, we'll throw the exception. Are we okay? Done. Shall I go ahead? So it is based on you whether to write a try and catch, whether to write a throws exception. Assuming you all have understood up to this point. Let us say I'll go right now. I'm not reading and writing the content. I'm just explaining you how to create it first. Let us check the status of the deletion of the file. Perfect. Now, when you want to delete a file, again, there is a method. Go to file, see the methods, and there's a method which is called as delete. The same method is used for deleting the file or a directory denoted by the path name. So if I want to delete a file, I'll give a call delete method. It's a non-static method, तो background में I need the file object. और file object बनाते कैसे हैं? कोई भी file बनाओ, उसमें आप path pass करो, that will give you a file name. So can I say the first part of creating the file object will be the same? Do you agree? Correct. Now I'm saying fobj.delete. And here I'll just say boolean status. I'll first write system.out.println status. Let's see delete method. Is it throwing any exception? Yes or no? No. So does it have to be handled? Not necessary, not required. Let us execute. Can you see it is giving me true? Yes. Let me refresh. Is my test.txt file is not there? Yes, it's not there. कुछ समझ में आया? Everyone? Perfect. Shall we go ahead? Is it easy? Right. Let us try to create a directory. Directory means a folder. So I'll say create and create a folder, which is called as directory in Java. So again, I'll have the main. That's the same thing. Here I will go for assigning one string name is equal to, I'll say my directory. I'll give any name. Next, I want to create it into the same folder. My folder is 13_7, so it will create it. But when I'm saying to create a directory, I have to use some method. There is a function which is mkdir. Can you see mkdir? It returns a boolean. It creates a directory named by abstract path. So what does it mean? If I want to create a directory, I'll go for mkdir. So here it goes. But this mkdir is a non-static method. It is basically having the boolean as a return type. So मुझे object लगेगा. How do I create file object? Maybe fobj is equal to new file. Bracket में I'll pass name. In this case, I'll say boolean status is equal to file.mkdir or fobj dot, not file. It's a non-static method. fobj.mkdir. When you would like to create the file, you will be able to use fobj.createNewFile. When you wanted to create a directory, you will use mkdir, which is going to make a new directory. We will try to print the status. Correct? Next. Can you see already throws IO exception है? अगर नहीं भी लिखा, let's check. mkdir, is it going to throw some exception? No. So it is not compulsory to handle it. But yes, it is always a good practice. In case of file handling programs, you can always catch that exception, handle that exception. Is it okay? We are seeing status is equal to true. I'll refresh. Are you able to see one directory is created, one folder is created initially, which is empty. So check this out. My directory is created within this file and time is this much. Are we okay? Yes or no? Right. Next, if I'm saying I would like to delete the directory. When I say deleting a directory, here you have a common method called as a delete method. File, methods, and delete. It deletes the file or a directory denoted by the abstract path. That means if you go for a deletion, deletion will go in simpler way, delete. Let us check. I'll copy this. Instead of creating a folder, right now, I'll say delete a directory. We use a delete method. Again, delete method is having a non-static method. So definitely I shall have one string name is equal to, that is my directory and the file. Right? Maybe I'll say boolean status is equal to fobj dot delete. Let us try to print the status. Correct? Let's execute. It is saying status is equal to true. Let us just refresh. The directory is being deleted. The directory is being deleted. Have you all understood up to this point? Everyone? Yes or no? Perfect. Shall we go ahead? All right. Let us talk about few more information. So we have seen you can use java.io. You can handle the file by creating a empty file, creating an empty directory, deleting the file, and deleting the directory. Now let us try to read the metadata of the file. Now, whenever you are talking about metadata, metadata means information about the file. Maybe you can check different functions like get absolute path. So it will give you the path name of the file, get name of the file, get parent of the file, get parent file, get the path. Maybe you can use is a directory, whether it is a file, what is the last modified date, what is the length of the file, what is the basically you can say these are the few functions maybe you can use whenever you are working with the files. Because if you want to know some information about the file, then you can fetch its metadata. Metadata means you can say the data about the file. Parent means the folder which is above it. I'll prove the points with respect to displaying the metadata of the file. So let me create one class. I'll close this. Now, quickly go through the code 13_7. If you have doubts, please ask me. I'll wait. If it is done, just let me know. Right. Directory file is not, just check in the same folder. राइट क्लिक करो और रिफ्रेश करो, या तो उस डायरेक्टरी में जाके एक बार चेक करो. Just refresh it. Okay. Now, all right. Now, let us say we will go for something called as one string path is equal to, I'm passing some say 13_7 file. Maybe I'll just edit this address. I'll copy this path. And I'll say backslash. My file name is day13_7 dot Java file, right? I'm using Windows, so I just change the path by writing this code. So currently, I have tried to point out the file which is day13_7. I'll create a file object fobj is equal to new file and bracket mein I'll pass path. Correct? I have to import this java.io. Next, the file is already existing, which is .java file. The file is pointed by one object, which is fobj. Now, whenever you are working with this fobj, or whenever you are working with this particular file, fobj is object, which is pointing to day13_7 file. Now, I want to display some information about the file. So when we say when we want to display the information, usse hum bolte hain metadata. What is metadata? It is data about the file, data about data, right? So here, let us just try to work with fobj, or maybe I'll just write fobj dot get absolute path. Let us try to execute first this one. Can you see it is giving me the complete path from here? Right. Again, fobj dot get canonical path. Sometimes they both returns the same value. Right? At throws declaration, so I'll just add IO exception. Right. When you are basically trying to represent the path, it accepts the path like backslash or the forward slash, but normally Windows में जब वो output दिखाता है वो backslash में दिखता है. If you want to change it, let me try it with changing this. Let us check. Maybe it is giving error. So while passing, you shall always give the path in this way. Okay. While executing, it is giving in this way. Few things that are, you can say some features or some things that you need to understand always, or you need to remember always. Okay. Next, I'll say maybe we will go to this methods. I'll check with the exist method. So I'll say plus fobj dot exists. Canonical path is exactly similar to your absolute path. Check this. It's get, right? Get absolute file, abstract path name, returns the canonical form of the abstract path name. Both works on the similar lines. Some versions may take this one, some may take this. That's how it is. Okay. Next, see this. Canonical path, canonical file, absolute path, absolute file. Exists return if the file or directory is yet present or not. Let's check get name and get parent. Get name. Fobj dot get name. Again, I'll say get parent. Fobj dot get parent. Or maybe I'll say get parent file. Let us observe the output. All these are non-static, so I'm calling them in case of object name, correct? Next is get path. So let's check what exactly it is giving us as the output. Get path, correct? There is something called as length, or let's check is a directory. It will check whether the file is directory or not. For us, it's a file, it's not a directory, so it will return us false. Is a file. So is a file is going to return us true because fobj belongs to one file, which is .java file. Then there is a hidden, and let us say I'll go for is hidden. So fobj dot is hidden. It's not a hidden file, so it may give you false. Maybe I'll check the length, so it will give you length. Let us try to execute this. Let me connect charger. All right. So let's execute and check. Can you see? Absolute path is this one. Canonical path is this one. Exists gives me true. It means the file is returning me, but the file is available in the disk. Get name gives me the exact name of the file, which is day13_7.java. Get parent and the get parent file both are giving me the same. Parent indicates the parent folder. 13_7 file is present inside the src folder. That's the reason it has given us the output as this. After that, I'm saying get the path of the file. It is giving me the complete path from the root directory. Is it a directory? No, that's why it is returning false. Is it a file? Yes, that's why it is returning true. Is it hidden file? No, it is not a hidden. That's why it is returning false. Length is giving me the size of the file. How do you check the length? Right click, properties, and can you see 1.56 KB, 1605 bytes? Is it what I am getting in the output? 1605 bytes, right? So have you understood how do we have fetched the metadata about the file? I'll wait here. If it is done, just let me know, so that we can go ahead to the slides once again. Back to a little more theory. All right. Is it done? Length is giving you the actual length of the file. Hidden. Some files are hidden in your system, which cannot be, which have some specific properties. So currently, I'm able to see that file. That's why it is returning me hidden as false. Okay. That's what I've said. Get absolute and canonical gives the same output. All right. Any other doubts? Shall we go ahead? Perfect. I'll close this. Let us go ahead. Right now, everyone is at least aware about how we can create a file, how we can delete a file, and is my screen is not visible? Sakshi, can you please reconnect? I hope I'm visible to you all along with the screen. Let it get stable. It's more than 200. So just confirm. Is my screen is visible? Okay, it is visible. Okay. So let us continue. So you can check at your end, the one who's saying, or please rejoin. Just log out from this and rejoin in a minute. Perfect. Now, let us go ahead to the next point, which is called as file. You all know what is file creation. What do you mean by file handling or deleting a file, creating a file, getting the metadata of the file, creating a directory and deleting a directory. Now, let us go ahead and observe how you can perform the different jobs within the file. That means if I want to read the data or if I want to write the data in the file, how we can go for. Everyone, before understanding or writing of a program, let us first understand little bit theory. The reason is, if you understand one single program, all the programs will have exact replica with a minor difference. So first of all, how do we handle the files in Java? We are a Java application developer. We will create different file objects. Do you all know how to create a file object? Do you all know how to create a file object? Yes or no? Right. Which class you will use? File. Perfect. So that's how you will go for file object. Next, when you create the file object, then there is something called as Java Virtual Machine. It will deal with your program, maybe the file, maybe the directory, and so on. Means if I'm saying, even if I want to work with a file, I need a file instance. Even if I want to work with some directory or the folder, I need a file instance. That's how we can communicate with the files or directories. That is first point. Next, we have already seen some of the methods in java.io.file class, creating a file, deleting a file, making a new file, listing the files, and so on. The most important diagram that you need to remember is this one. I'll just copy this image and paste it over here. Now you all have to understand in a very clear manner that whenever you want to work with files, as everyone knows, there are two types of files. Can you please tell me what are the two types? One is binary files and second is text files. Do you all agree? Right. Now, can I say I can perform reading and writing on the binary files also through the program, and I can perform reading and writing on the text files also. Correct? Now, as you know, when you want to work with files, the class that I have used is file class. The package that I have used is java.io. On the similar lines, कुछ तो specific classes रहेंगे जो binary के साथ treat होंगे and कुछ specific class रहेंगे जो आपके text files के साथ represent करेंगे. Correct? So listen, whenever you are going to work with binary files, the supermost abstract class is input stream and output stream. This you have to remember. Otherwise आपको programs ही नहीं आएंगे. I'll repeat. Whenever you want to work on binary files, the supermost category of binary files is input stream and output stream. And whenever you want to work with text files, the supermost abstract classes are reader and the writer. Without these classes and its subclasses, you cannot proceed ahead. Will you please remember? Will you please remember this? Everyone. Perfect. So जब भी आपको बाइनरी फाइल्स के साथ वर्क करना है 100% you need to use input stream and its subclasses and output stream and its subclasses. Whenever you want to work with reading and writing on the text files, you have to use reader class subclasses or writer class subclasses. If you remember this, then only you will be able to proceed ahead. So, as I'm saying, input stream, it means I'm taking input. That means it will be used, its subclasses will be used for reading purpose. And output stream means I'm going to write something on the output data, output console. So that is nothing but for writing purpose, reading and writing purpose. Similarly, if I'm using reader class, it is for reading purpose, and I'm using writer class for writing purpose. कुछ समझ में आया? Everyone. Perfect. Next point. So here I'll save it. This is called as hierarchy. Now, let us check. I'll go to java.io, right? I have something called as what we have seen, input stream, output stream, reader, and the writer, right? Now let's see. Input stream is a class belonging to java.io. Will you please observe and tell me, input stream class, is it the abstract class? Correct. अगर ये abstract class है, तो क्या आप object बनाते हो क्या? नहीं बनाते हैं. Perfect. तो जब भी आपको binary files में reading करना है, I cannot create the object of input stream class. That is true. But can I create the object of its implemented subclasses? Maybe file input stream, in object input stream, buffered input stream, piped input stream, and so on. Can I say like that? Yes, of course. Another point. When you talk about output stream, is it the abstract class? Yes. But I cannot create the object of abstract class. So here, which subclasses it is having? File output stream, object output stream, piped output stream, and so on. Are you okay? Did you understand up to this point? Similarly, if you see the class reader, this is also the abstract class. I cannot create the object of reader class, but I can create the object of input stream reader, filter reader, string reader, piped reader, character array reader, and so on. Similarly, I have a writer class, abstract class writer. Writer class is having filter writer, print writer, piped writer, output stream writer, and many more. Have you all understood up to this point? Everyone. So it means, agar main, listen carefully, if I am working on file input stream for reading the data, so output stream mein, I shall use file output stream. Do you all agree? Yes, of course. Again, if I'm saying I'm using object input stream, then I shall use object output stream for writing the data. That is also true. Similarly, you have piped input stream. For the writing, I'll go for a piped output stream. Have you understood the sequence बाइनरी फाइल्स का सीक्वेंस, करेक्ट. नेक्स्ट, same is the case. If I'm reading using buffered reader, do I have a buffered writer? Yes. But जो बेस वर्ड है रीडर राइटर, ये कौन से फाइल्स के साथ डील करता है? टेक्स्ट फाइल्स के साथ. जो बेस वर्ड है इनपुट स्ट्रीम आउटपुट स्ट्रीम, वो सब जगह पे सेम है. दैट मीन्स आई एम गोइंग टू वर्क विथ बाइनरी फाइल. आर वी ओके? डिड यू ऑल अंडरस्टैंड up to this point? Right. Now, it is completely the design part. Why these classes are not made as interface? It is because maybe if you can observe file input stream, what is the hierarchy? It is just having the extension of input stream. What is input stream? It is just having the extension of object. So there was no need to create it as interface. That's the reason they have not created that as interface. Apart from that, if you can see, it is also having its own methods. तो methods declaration कर दिया है. Single level inheritance है, multi level inheritance है. Object input stream, file input stream, object input stream, maybe piped input stream, object output stream, file output stream. So it is multi level inheritance. And every input stream is having interfaces, closable and auto closable. Check it out, closable and auto closable. So in this case, there is no need of interface in such cases. When I can implement multi-level, then why would I go for multiple? I hope you have understood. Yes or no? Perfect. Now, can I say input stream, output stream, they both are abstract classes. They both can work on binary data. Next, can I also say reader and writer are both abstract classes. Their subclasses are used for reading and writing on text file. सबको इतना डायग्राम समझ में आया क्या? Perfect. Good. Now the question comes in our mind is, when I want to deal with input stream, that means reading on binary. So I have so many number of classes. Writing on binary, I have so many number of classes. Reading on text, I have so many classes. Writing on the text file, I have so many classes. Correct? So, just before proceeding ahead, please tell me, if I talk about a collection, I hope you remember a little bit of collection. If I want some list of elements which are in order, I want duplicate elements, I want the data to be inserted properly in the same sequence in which I'm inserting. I want to display the data in the same sequence in which I'm inserting. I want repeated data, and I want addition and removal of elements in a faster way. तो आप कौन सा collection use करोगे? Linked list. Perfect. Correct. Ab, if I say I want to have a collection where I need some unique elements to be maintained, then which kind of collection hierarchy you will use? You will go for set. Perfect. If I'm saying I want to have a collection in which I want last in first out type of collection, which type of collection you will go for? You will go for stack. Perfect. Last in first out, stack. Perfect. If I say I'll go for a growable stack or growable array, then which data you will go for? You will say vector. Growable array kaha, so it is vector at runtime, right? Again, if I'm saying I want to go for key and the value pairs, then which data structure you will go for? Key and the value, then 100% you will go for map. Do you remember? Correct. So it means whatever is your requirement, accordingly you are selecting the particular class, right? Implemented class. वहां पे list interface था, implemented classes array list and linked list. वहां पे queue interface था, priority queue and array queue. Set interface था, hash set, linked hash set and so on. Map interface था, hash map and ये सारे उसके implemented classes थे. Same is the case over here. Input stream, यहाँ पे interface नहीं है, they are the abstract class. But I hope you know the major difference between interface and the abstract, right? So, whenever I am saying I have different variations. The first variation, read and write in a file a single character. Can I say that can be the sequence, that can be the scenario? Do you all agree? Yes or no? Right. Next, can I say I may have the option where I have to go for read and write in a file but multiple characters? Right? Do you all agree? Right. Third, can I say the third case can be read and write in a file, not a single character or a multiple character, but I want to read the data or the write the data in the file as primitive data file, primitive data, int value, float value, string, you can say double value and so on. And the last option, reading and writing in a file may be of a type non-primitive. Maybe some student record, maybe some employee record, and so on. Yes or no? Do you all agree? Perfect. I'll make a change over here, a word, which is read and write in a file in a binary file. Read and write in a binary file. Read and write in a binary file. Here also in a binary file. Correct? Can I say these are the different operations that can be the possible operations? Correct. I'll just save it as read and write on binary. So, if I want to work on reading and writing on binary file, which are the two abstract classes that you are aware about for binary data, binary files? Can you please tell me quickly? Abstract classes दो कौन से थे? One is input stream, another is output stream. Very nice. Means can I say ये चारों categories में 100% कोई ना कोई class आएगा which is having the super class as input stream or output stream. Do you agree? Because I'm dealing with binary data. Do you understand? Correct. So, if I'm saying, if we want to work on files, which is binary files, for a single character, I have to read the data, I'll use input stream. I want to write the data, I'll use output stream. But input and output stream are the abstract classes. I have to be more specific. The class which deals with reading and writing on the binary file is a file input stream and a file output stream. Did you understand, everyone, how I have finalized the class? जैसे आप collection में final करते थे कि मुझे यही requirement है तो मैं ये वाला class implement करूंगी. Same is the case over here. Did you all get? Everyone. Next point. Once again, if I'm saying I want to read and write in a binary file, so for reading, I have a supermost class input stream. For writing, I have a supermost class output stream. But when I say multiple characters, option 1, I can go for file input stream, write one by one character. Option 2, you can go for buffered input stream and buffered output stream. Have you understand the requirement, everyone? Yes or no? अगर आपने फाइल इनपुट स्ट्रीम लिखा तो भी चलेगा, क्योंकि एक कैरेक्टर लिखा तो फाइल इनपुट स्ट्रीम, मल्टीपल कैरेक्टर्स है, वन बाय वन लिखा तो भी चलेगा. बट इफ यू यूज अ buffer is basically kind of a temporary storage which will increase the performance of the program. Right? Next, if I'm saying I want to read and write in a binary file, as we know, for reading I have input stream, for writing I have an output stream. But when I say reading and writing in a binary data for primitive files, this is data input stream and data output stream. Just give me a second. Let's see. All right. So when I say I want to work on the file on primitive data, then I'll go for data input stream and data output stream, right? And if I say I want to write a complete object, a non-primitive type, a reference type of a data, the base I'll use as data input stream, I'll use input stream and output stream. But when I want to write a primitive type, I'll go for object input stream and object output stream. Have you now understood the requirement and the classes that you can go for whenever you are working with binary files? The base thing, input stream and output stream, will remain same in all the cases. Why? Because my requirement is to deal with binary files. You have to understand. That's why I'm emphasizing onto this. Have you understood? Program likhna is very easy. Decision of the class is important into these programs. All right. Shall we go ahead? Good. So let's check. I have a file IO. आउटपुट स्ट्रीम क्लास की यही हायरार्की है. फाइल आउटपुट, बफर्ड आउटपुट, ऑब्जेक्ट आउटपुट, डेटा आउटपुट स्ट्रीम. इनपुट स्ट्रीम की क्लास की हायरार्की में फाइल इनपुट, फिल्टर इनपुट, बफर्ड इनपुट एंड ऑब्जेक्ट इनपुट, डेटा इनपुट स्ट्रीम. So this link I'll help you out. Don't worry. Just observe. We can write a single byte at a time into a binary file. So which class I've used? File input. We can read a single byte at a time from the binary file. I'll use file output stream. How this connection is made, I'll prove it with the help of program. Just read the theory. We can write multiple bytes at a time into the binary. It is buffered input. We can read multiple bytes at a time. Then it is buffered output. We can convert it into primitive values on the binary files. Then it is data input stream. We can just get or convert binary data into primitive values, means writing the data, that is data output stream. When you are saying state of Java object, maybe you can say something called as non-primitive type. I'll go for object input stream. And when I say writing, then it is object output stream. I'll talk about serialization. Please do not worry. Right now, it's not the correct time to talk onto it. Similarly, if you are talking about the similar types, I'm saying when you want to deal with text files, what are the main abstract classes that I have spelled out few minutes ago? Reader and writer. Very nice. When we say reader and the writer, in this scenario, there can be again different number of classes. Buffer reader, filter reader, output stream writer, file writer, piped writer, and so on. Reader hierarchy is having different implemented classes. Character array reader, maybe file reader, and so on. But here, if there are two cases into this text files. If I want to read and write in a text file, right? So then that can be one job. As we know, text file kaha? So I have a reader and I have a writer. But when I say read and write in a text file a single letter, I have a file reader and the file writer. Text file, a single character or single byte, we can say, whatever you talk about. So I have a file reader and a file writer, which is used to write a single character at a time. And if you want, point number 2, read and write in a text file, that too multiple number of characters, then which classes I'll go for? As I'm working on the text files, the base classes are reader and the writer. But if I want multiple characters, I have buffered reader and buffered writer. Are you all okay with this scenario? For text files, there is no concept of something called as, you can say, object reading and object writing. The reason is, जब आप object लिखते हो, object on its own binary में ही रहेगा. because till the time your object is not in binary, you will not be able to work onto it. Primitive भी रहेगा, वो भी in binary format भी रहेगा. So that's the reason. Here we have these, you can say, two variations. So I'll just say reading and writing on text files. All right. Did you all understand the flow that I have explained? I'll just open that diagram so that you can quickly read it once so that we can write a program. If it is understood, just post it into the chat box. Till the time you will not understand this hierarchy, you will not be able to go ahead. All right. Shall we go ahead? Did you all get? Let us proceed then. Now, let us take one basic scenario. Suppose, let us say, suppose you are using a printer. I'm just assuming, correct? And let us assume you have given 100 pages for printing, correct? Now, please tell me, अगर आप 100 pages printing के लिए देते हैं, तो can I say, first of all, you give these 100 pages maybe from some application, maybe a Word, correct? And later on, this application request will go to the printer and the printer will try to perform to keep this in buffer. Printer अपने buffer में रखता है. Do you all agree? Again, when the printer will put this into buffer, can you please tell me 100 pages है, तो पहला जाएगा first page. And when the first page will go, in that case, क्या पूरा का पूरा page एक साथ print होगा? नहीं. It will go line by line, maybe word by word, maybe character by character. That means it will go first by maybe line by line. Line by line में भी print करेगा तो there will be number of words, and maybe if there are number of words, तो वो letter by letter ultimately print करके देगा. Can I say like this? Everyone. Can this be the flow? Yes or no? For any printing job. Can this be the flow? Are you guys there? Printer buffer is basically used for storing your document. जहाँ पे आप आपके डॉक्यूमेंट स्टोर होते हैं. आपने वर्ड डॉक्यूमेंट का प्रिंट दिया, आपने उसे क्लोज किया, फिर भी प्रिंट आता है. कैसे? बिकॉज प्रिंटर के पास एक टेम्पररी स्टोरेज है. सो बफर इज अ टेम्पररी स्टोरेज एरिया, राइट? सो can I say this will be the flow of getting the printout for 100 pages? At least say yes or no. Perfect. So here also is the same case. If I'm saying I want to write a single character, you know I have file input stream and file output stream. I'm just writing in short. Correct? Next, if I'm saying I want to write a line, can I say line is nothing but multiple characters? So here I'll use buffered input stream and buffered output stream. Do you agree? And obviously I will have my Java application where I'll just give the file object. Do you all agree? Can this be the flow? Of course, yes. It means, can I say I can directly jump from here to here? No. अगर मुझे single character है, then it is absolutely okay. I'll just copy this. Give me a moment. If I have only a single character, I can create a file object. I'll pass this and I'll write a single character. But if I have multiple characters, can I say I have to follow this sequence compulsorily? Can I say like this? All right. So can I say this can be the sequence, everyone? Perfect. So everyone, please understand the ultimate job, which is going to write the data on the file, is done ultimately by single character. Do you agree? Right. If it is yes, तो single character के साथ work कौन करता है? FIS और FOS. Are we okay? Correct. So let us observe. Let's observe. Understand the diagrams, because till the time you will not understand the diagram, you will not be able to write the programs. If I'm saying I want to write a single byte, which class I will go for? File output stream. So I will say 1, 2, 3 is one data. I'll write it through Java application. I'll create a file output stream and I'll write it onto the file. This is what will be the sequence. If I want to read the data from the finary file, I will have a file. I'll try to read it using file input stream class, and I will read into my Java application and I'll get the data. Can this be the sequence? Can this be the linking that I have to make always? Do you all agree? Perfect. Good. So let us say this. All right. So whenever we are talking about this particular sequence, this I have to maintain 100%. So let us try to write a program. First point, can I say the first thing that I have to create is the file? Do you all agree? जब तक फाइल का ऑब्जेक्ट नहीं रहेगा तब मैं फाइल आउटपुट स्ट्रीम को नहीं दे सकती. जब तक फाइल आउटपुट स्ट्रीम का ऑब्जेक्ट नहीं मिलेगा तब तक मैं जावा एप्लीकेशन के साथ डील नहीं कर सकती. और मे बी till the time I do not write the Java application, till the time I do not need a file input stream, I will not be able to use the file. Can I say this is the sequence that I have to follow 100%? Of course, yes. So now, let us try. Also, let me first explain the theory, then we can start writing the programs maybe in the tomorrows, because writing programs will not take much time. Next point, please observe, if I have a buffered input stream and buffered output stream, if you can write multiple bytes at a time, or when you want to go for multiple bytes to read, can I say this connection will be fixed always? Because directly, if I want to write onto the file or read from the file, ultimately I have to read and write through one character only. Reading and writing by single character can be done with a file output stream and file input stream. Will this connection be 100% maintained always? Of course, yes. But if I'm saying I'm giving multiple bytes, I need a temporary storage. So I will have to maintain buffered output and buffered input in between. तो पहले आपका जावा का फाइल रहेगा जहां से आप मल्टीपल बाइट्स सेंड करोगे. मल्टीपल बाइट्स आपका बफर टेम्पररी स्टोरेज के जैसे ट्रीट करेगा. देन बफर आपके फाइल आउटपुट स्ट्रीम को 1 by 1 कैरेक्टर देगा एंड वो आपके फाइल में जाके राइट करेगा. कैन दिस बी द सीक्वेंस? Yes, of course. So can I say if I'm using file output stream, I have to use buffered output stream for multiple bytes? Or if I'm using file input stream, I have to use buffer input stream for reading the data? Yes. Next, the same way, let us observe. If I want to convert primitive values, अब if I have one single data, तो मैं FOS and FIS बोलती हूँ. Multiple primitive values है. Primitive के लिए हमारे पास कौन सा क्लास है? Data input stream and data output stream. So how you will go ahead? You will supply some primitive data through your Java application. How do you supply it? Use the class data output stream. If there is multiple amount of data, obviously I have to pass it as BOS. BOS is buffered output stream. Buffered output stream will give it to file output stream and that will write onto the file. Exactly the opposite sequence. File input stream, buffered input stream, data input stream, read it through Java application. Are you able to understand this complete linking? On the same way, if I'm saying I want to write a complete object, let us say I have an employee object, then I'll use object output stream, buffered output stream, file output stream, file. I cannot have a direct connection of object output stream to file output stream. No, you have to pass in the same sequence the way you are passing. Have you understood the sequence, everyone? Right. Forget about the concepts of serialization. I'll talk about it tomorrow. Don't worry. But let's check. File writer and file reader. Am I going to write a single character? Yes. Which classes I'm using? File writer and file reader. Are they going to deal directly with the file? Of course, yes. So I have to create the object of file writer and file reader and add it in a Java application. Is it okay? On the similar lines, if I have buffer reader and buffer writer, have I made the similar type of connection over here? Of course, yes. Did you all understand how we are going to use different classes by going ahead into these many classes? कुछ समझ में आया? Everyone? Yes or no? Perfect. Good. We will write the programs in tomorrow's session. No worries. Let us talk or let us observe these classes, few of these classes and the constructor, so that it will be easy for us just to start with the program in tomorrow's session. I'll go with binary files. Input stream, file input stream. Output stream, file output stream. Can you see? File input stream is a class. It's a class, right? It is used for reading raw bytes, maybe in image data, text data, and so on. This is having a constructor. Can you please see the first constructor? File input stream, file. On the similar lines, file output stream, it is having a constructor. File output stream takes the file object. So let us say, if I want to use file input stream, this constructor, and let us say, I want to use this constructor file output stream file. Can I say, if I want to go for creation of file input stream FIS is equal to new file input stream. Do you all agree? मुझे ऐसे पास करना पड़ेगा constructor. ये object ऐसे ही create करते हैं. Correct. But is it taking one argument as a file? Is it taking the argument as file? Right. File object. If I pass FOBJ. So can I say the first statement I shall write over here is file FOBJ is equal to new file, maybe any file that I want to talk about, demo.txt. Or I hope you remember, here we pass a path name and maybe I'll pass here string path name is equal to test.data file. The reason is whenever you are working with binary, you give the extensions .dat. कुछ समझ में आया? How I have tried to make the connection? Everyone? This we will write it in the program again in tomorrow's session. This is how you can create. Once again, file output stream, right? Direct object के अंदर आपने test.data दिया तो भी चलेगा. That is okay. But this is what we have followed. How to create a file. Correct? Let us observe once again. If I want to work with file output stream, so first of all, I'll create file output stream, maybe FOS is the object name, new file output stream. This is how I will go for correct. But do I have a default constructor for this? No. मुझे यहाँ पे कोई तो file object pass करना है. So I'll say FOBJ. Now what is this FOBJ? I have to specify. It is nothing but a file object is equal to new file. Bracket में I have to pass the path. कौन सी file के बारे में हम बात कर रहे हैं? Right now, I'm working with binary files. So I'll just say string path name. Maybe I'll say test.dat. Did you all understand how we have tried to make the connection over here? Are we okay? It's like linking is done. Please check. Test.data is going into this path name. FOBJ is taken inside this. The reason is your constructor of file output stream is taking one file object. Have you all understood up to this point? Creation of objects. If you understand one single program, maybe in tomorrow's session, you will be able to write the different codes. So we will see 6 different programs with respect to file handling, where the 4 variations of 1, 2, 3, 4 these and 2 variations of this text files. 6 programs we will see in tomorrow's session with respect to file handling. Correct? Now, listen very carefully. Suppose I'm writing one statement. Let me see whether you can understand. If I write file output stream, FOS is equal to new file output stream. Inside the bracket, I'll say new file and maybe test.data. I will put this into brackets. कुछ समझ में आ रहा है मैंने क्या किया अभी? Yes or no? Can I say I have tried to make these 3 lines of a code into a single file, a single statement? Unnecessarily, यहाँ पे मुझे string path name create करना पड़ रहा है, FOBJ create करना पड़ रहा है, and then I'm passing it. Can I say I've created here anonymous object and I've linked it? Did you all get it? Everyone. So can I say here new file test.dat is actually treated as FOBJ in my case, where FOBJ was the same new file path name, where my path name was test.dat. So 3 lines of code I have written in 1 line of code. That is also okay. Let us try for this one. Let us observe. Can I say here, I'll write file input stream, maybe FIS is equal to new file input stream. Inside the bracket, I'm creating one anonymous object, new file, by passing test.dat. Is it exactly the similar line with respect to your previous code? Can I say these 3 lines of code can be replaced with a single line of a code? Yes, of course. Tomorrow we will write this one then. Is it okay? Perfect. So, I want everyone to please revise the things which were theoretical in case of file handling. Tomorrow, I will just finish it off, the 6 programs with respect to these classes. Now you know what is binary file, what is text file, which class is to be used in what scenario. We just have to write a simple programs. One topic, serialization, is also remaining. We will cover that in tomorrow's session. Hope you all have understood the things with respect to file handling, right? So please make sure you revise the things and come for the next lecture. Otherwise, you will not understand tomorrow's session. So I'll stop here and thank you very much.